This is my biggest regret. I don't really like to talk about this because I really regret this. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I have sold bags that I very much regret selling. I have now got for you the top 5 bags, the biggest regrets of bags that I have sold that I never should have sold. But number 1 is the Louis Vuitton Speedy in the Empreinte leather. What was I thinking? A big problem that I have, and I can share this with you from serious self-reflection, is that I can be so impulsive and so rash. And when you're buying bags at these sorts of prices, because I can impulsively buy bags as much as I can impulsively sell them, you need to not make such rash decisions. Now, in my defence, because I feel that that's appropriate, there are certainly bags in this room that I have bought on impulse that I love, have been such a success, have been bags that have just really worked out for me, bags that I love, bags that just work, and I bought those on an impulse. But there are bags I've bought on impulse that didn't work, absolutely. And likewise with selling, there are bags that I've sold, hopefully like the 13 from 2024, that I don't regret, and selling them was the right thing, moving them on was the right thing. But there are also bags that I get it into my head, I'm going to sell that. Don't want that anymore, I've had enough of that. Or for whatever other reason that's floating about in there in the crazy at the time, and I think I'm going to sell that, and I don't think it through. Now I'm getting better at this, I now make myself wait. But I was historically very rash to do it, and I moved very, very quickly. Because once I get an idea in my head, here's another character flaw coming up. Once I get an idea in my head and it takes root, I have to act on that. I am not good at just calmly being. I think I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. I have to be doing things and I have to be focusing and moving. I struggle to just be and to not be doing anything and to just be resting or taking a break. And that is the same, and that ties into my mentality when I get an idea in my head. When I get an idea in my head, I will impulsively do it. When I opened my business, I got an idea in my head and I impulsively did it. That was a big one. Yeah, even things as big as that. When I decide to buy something, when I decide to sell something, I can just impulsively do it. And the Speedy 25 in the Empreinte leather, that was a beautiful colour. It was like the colour of my Birkin, my favourite colour. I got it into my head that I just didn't like that bag anymore. And again, in my defence, I am not the biggest lover of the Speedy, even though I have a ridiculously expensive P9 Pharrell Williams leather Speedy. But the Speedy itself, the shape, is not my favourite. Does not work for me the best. I find it a little bit bulky crossbody. The one that I sold was Empreinte leather. The difference with the P9 Speedy is the leather is very soft and squidgy and flattens to your body. Whereas I found the Empreinte one stuck out that little bit. I don't really like carrying the Speedy handheld, and I don't really like wearing it on your shoulder. But there are occasions when I will use and wear that bag. The Speedy P9 I wear quite a lot because it is very slouchy. I throw it across my crossbody, it sinks into your body, I throw it round the back. I really enjoy that bag, thankfully at the price. But the Empreinte leather is that little bit stiffer and that little bit less flexible whenever it sits the way it sits. But there are still times that I would have worn that bag. I would have taken that bag, for example, on weekends. I would have taken that bag when I was maybe going with the boys. And did I sell it before I had children? I might have, which was also foolish because one's life can change. For example, I was in soft play dreamland the other day with my children and I brought the Loewe squeeze bag. I had it in my book, I had my hat, I had different things. That would have fitted in the Speedy 25. And I could have thrown that across me and it would have done the same job. I should never have sold that bag. I should have kept that bag for the occasion when it worked, because there would always be an occasion when that Speedy 25 would have worked. It was the bandolier, it had the strap, it could go crossbody. I sold it for a ridiculously low price, which is also, I don't like to think about, it hurts. And for the price that I sold that bag for, it was years ago before I knew a bit more about buying and selling bags. But for what I sold that for, I shouldn't have sold it. Should have kept it for when I used it, had it in my collection, and it would have earned its keep from the times that it was used. Number 2, bear with me, because not really, but yes. And it's the pink denim Chanel bag, the large one that I sold to Meredith. Now, I don't regret selling that bag to Meredith because it was too big for me. but I still very much love the pink denim. So my regret in this is really maybe not kind of selling it, because it couldn't stay here. It didn't work for me. I am 5'1". Meredith is a little bit taller than me, but it just, on my frame, I found that even though I'm curvier than Meredith, it just overwhelmed me. And with my height, and it just didn't look right. It was too big. And even when I put the clips in it to shorten it so I could wear it crossbody, even when I put it under my arm, just didn't work. But I kind of regret that this bag didn't work. And the reason I regret that this bag didn't work is because I adore the pink denim, and I put my Chanel brooches on it and I thought it looked really cool and I really liked the look of it. I liked it under my arm, although I don't really carry bags like that. It was still a bit big. So I kind of regret not so much selling this, but yes, selling it. But selling it was the right decision because that one didn't work. What I regret, I think, more about this is that it was the wrong size. And that had this been a size that worked for me, I would definitely not have sold it, because I kind of miss the pink denim. The pink denim's class. Looks really good. It's like an acid wash through it. It's a fabulous, fabulous bag. Again, I would make the same decision to sell that one because it just was too big. But, and I know that's the purpose of this video, so that's very counterproductive to what I'm saying. But I regret that this didn't work. I wish that either I had got the mini. Now, I think the mini was quite small, was like a little square. I wish I had either got the mini, or I wish that Chanel had made it smaller. If that's, going to happen, probably not. If we take the Chanel sequins, and I will grab it. I was worried about buying this bag because I thought this bag was going to be the same size as the Chanel denim, and that's why I wanted to try this in person before I bought it. This is more a medium size. The denim one that Meredith now has is more a jumbo size. So I wish, if I had the powers that be, that Chanel had made a denim version in this sort of size. And that would have worked so much better for me. Now, it's quite slouchy. I still think it would have worked at that size. I get where they were going with the bigger size to suit that shape and the slouch and that design. But I just kind of have regrets about this. Not selling that one. More the regret is that it didn't work. And I wish I had been able to get a size in it that did work, because the pink denim's so cool. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going with that. Number 3 is my biggest regret. This is my biggest regret. I don't really like to talk about this because I really regret this. And it is the Chanel classic flap in this. So this is the Chanel mini rectangle in the 18B collection in the colour they called purple, in the lambskin, in the chevron, which is my favourite, in the light gold hardware. I love this bag. So no regrets that I kept this one. But before I bought this, I found this in the medium classic flap, back before classic flaps cost a kidney. And I had the classic flap in the medium size, and then I got this one. And I thought in my head, I couldn't keep both. Why, Amelia? Why? Obviously, my collection and collector tendencies and having duplicates has advanced since then. Now I would have had more sense. But back then, I was probably overwhelmed by having both of them, thought that it was duplicate, thought that it was too much money on the two bags that looked the same, and got it into my head that because I much prefer the medium size, which I do, not the medium, the mini, I much prefer the mini because it's so easy crossbody, sits so well, such a casual bag, love this colour, works for me. Got it into my head that because this is the better one for me that I should sell the medium. Never should have sold the medium. Never. This I got, I think I paid somewhere around £3,000, £3,300. I didn't lose money on it, certainly. But now these are thousands and thousands and thousands, and I'm not saying that I regret selling it because I should have kept it longer and sold it now and made more profit on it and sold it for like £8,000. That's not what I'm saying. I should have kept it. I should have kept it and used it. There are occasions whenever a medium classic flap would work, and there are occasions when I think that I would like a medium classic flap in a brighter colour, in a better colour. I have the black over there in the corner that I use for work at times, and I can wear over my suit and over my coat because I got the chain extended. It works perfectly. I should have done the same with the medium classic flap. I should have got the chain extended and kept it for the times whenever a medium classic flap would work. I should have worn it on my shoulder, extended it if I needed it to be crossbody. It's lambskin, it's beautiful. It didn't cost me what they cost now, so I could have used that without worry, without guilt. It's chevron, which is my favourite. I would really like a classic flap in chevron. I have seen a person in work has one in black, and I'm caught in my hood, but there you go. I have seen a girl in work has a chevron classic flap in lambskin and black, and it's stunning, and I would have loved it in this colour. I had it. Why I sold it was a big regret. It was stupid. I just got it into my head that I couldn't keep both of them, and I had to get rid of it because they were exactly the same colour. I didn't have to get rid of it because they were the same colour. I should have kept it and used it and just had a lambskin medium classic flap in my favourite colour that I wore. This is probably the biggest regret on selling bags that I have. Next is the square version of this. So obviously I prefer the rectangle. There's no square minis in here, but I had a square in this same colour. It was in the quilted, not my favourite, the chevron is, and it was in the silver, also not my favourite, the light gold is. But I sold the square for a very stupid price. I didn't know what I was doing. Very undervalue. And I wish I'd kept it. I wish I had kept it, not even because I sold it at a stupid price, because there's lots of bags I've sold below retail and now I think I shouldn't have done that, but I did it at the time for whatever reason. And this one though, I think for a square bag that's going to be lighter than this, and I have talked before how in full leather mini bags, even though they're mini bags, I have an old shoulder injury. They can hurt, they can pull on my shoulder, and a square, even though I think the rectangle suits my body shape better because I'm not skinny, I'm curvy, and this covers more space, the square is about this. There are still occasions when the square would have worked perfectly, and I should have kept it, not least for what I sold it for. I should have kept it, but I should have kept it and used it on those times. It would have been lighter. It still fit your phone, I think, from memory, and it would have worked better. It also would have been slightly dressier if I was taking it at night out rather than the rectangle. And it was a beautiful colour. It was this colour, and it was caviar as well. It was stupid. Should never ever ever have sold this bag. The person I've sold it to emailed me a couple of times to say, have you any other bags for sale? And I have no doubt that they did that because they thought, what an idiot. And they got that bag at such a good price. And if I was going to sell more Chanel bags at the sort of price that I sold that, of course they were going to see if there was more, because I so undersold it and I never should have let it go. That's a big, big regret. That and the classic flap and the Speedy. Big regrets. And number 5, now there's other bags that I've sold that I regret selling, but I regret selling them because I sold them at a stupid price, and that's really the only reason I still wanted to sell the bag. I haven't included those because I don't think that's really giving you any value. Of course you're going to regret selling a bag that's undervalued, so all I will say on that is do your research, do your market research, and make sure you're selling your bags at proper price. This one, number 5, is the Louis Vuitton Brea in the small size, the PM size. This was stunning. The colour of this was so beautiful. It was all the one colour. The bigger size in the Brea had vachetta around the top and vachetta straps and was too big. I don't regret selling that one at all, the bigger version. I do regret selling the smaller version. I should have kept it. It was very much like this colour. I should have kept it for the occasion when I wanted to take a hand carry bag. I sold it for a stupidly low price. Stupidly low price, I don't even want to think about it. And for what it brought in money-wise, I should have kept it and used it. And I miss it sometimes. I liked the Vernay leather. I don't particularly want a huge collection of Vernay bags, but I do like them. And for the times when I wore this, I should have kept it. It was a beautiful colour. It was a good size. It was very, very elegant looking when I wore it with a suit to work. I should have even kept it as a work bag. It did have a crossbody strap, a thin one that came with it. It sat well crossbody. It was not like the big one, which was far too big. I could have used it as a work bag even if I didn't want to be taking it out casually, because it was quite structured and quite elegant for my style casually. But I still think about this bag as well, and I shouldn't have sold it. And I know of other bags in the same colour, but for the price, for what I sold it for how much I now think about it and would have used it, stupid decision. And again, I did it rashly and didn't think it through. That is silly, don't do that. and big mistake on my part, shouldn't have sold it. So these are the 5 bags in my collection that I have sold that I very much regret selling, and why, and talking through with you my reasoning why I sold them, why I shouldn't have sold them, and why I regret it. I hope it helps you if you're thinking about any of your bags, maybe selling some of them, thinking about selling some of them. Please learn from my mistakes and listen to the things that I've done wrong and try and not make the same mistakes, because seller's regret sucks. Once it's gone and there's nothing you can do about it, and if you were to try and rebuy it, you're going to pay far more than what you sold it for probably. So yeah, don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes. I hope I'm learning from them, because the bags I've sold so far, all of those bags last year, a huge amount, 13, I don't regret any of them. I don't look for them. Whereas those ones, yeah, bad move, Amelia. Thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't found it enjoyable or informative in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.